compounds. So the idea that life on Earth originated potentially from an extraterrestrial source is supported by the fact that you see these organic materials that are needed for life to form in these rocks that were present from the beginning of our solar system. And then lastly, okay, this one may not be as exciting, but this is called a tactite, and it's similar to what Galen was showing us. It's going to be just rock that was melted from an impact with a meteorite. So it's like earth crust that was melted up from the impact. So you can see on this little black oval-y thing, you'll see some glass surface on it, and that's from the melt. And if you look closely at that glass, you'll see lines in it that are likely have to have formed from shocks, like shocks propagating through the rock as it was heated. If you look closely at the glass bits on that, you should see that. So it's not really a space rock. I mean, it formed from Earth's crust from an impact, but it's still pretty cool. So yeah, thank you, and I hope you enjoy the rocks. Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
You've got iron and I guess nickel. You didn't see any higher elements? I was hoping you would find gold or something.
Gold is pretty common here on Earth. I don't know if you see gold in meteorites. I'm not sure. I don't think so, right? Like it's like pretty much iron and nickel that you find. Right, in small quantities. Yeah.
Like the iridium is a trace of dinosaurs.
Oh, okay.
Question,
Yes.
Was it tactite you said the last
Yes.
time? Is that related to taconite at all, what they mine up in Minnesota?
I would guess not, but no, yes.
And taconite's iron ore.
Okay. I'm hearing no from specialists. Here in the front. Yes.
You mentioned about the organic compounds, even amino acids.
Yes.
Can you expand on that? How old would those chemicals be, and where did they come from?
Right. So, yeah, that's a really interesting field, and I would love to learn more about astrochemistry, sort of how organic compounds come to be forming in space. But as far as dating them, I'm not quite sure. I know that there are different compounds in the rock that are radioactive, and that's how we date like the entire meteorite to be 4.5 billion years old. But I'm not sure how, I don't even know if that's possible to date like a hydrocarbon, right? Because it's not how, I don't know how you would do this. So and I think that's probably another reason why it's so hard to date life on Earth. When did it arise? But yeah, it would be interesting, like if we could date amino acids, when did they pop up in the? But we do see organic compounds in other star systems as well, which is oh really? Okay. Well, that's
yeah. So we do find amino acids and other compounds in the interstellar medium as a whole, and so it's likely that you know they were part of the original solar nebula, and so when you started making condensates that eventually went to form planets and protoplanetary material, the chondrules in the carbonaceous chondrites and so forth, that was just taken up from the amino acids that were already there and the other organic compounds that were already there in the protosolar nebula. And as far as dating the compounds themselves, I don't think it's possible because they are all made of light elements, and they're, even though some of the light elements have radioactive isotopes, those are pretty short-lived, and so you'd want something with a half-life of 100 millions to billions of years in order to date something, and they simply don't exist in any hydrocarbons. As far as I know. Roy.
This particular specimen you passed around, this small one, was It was a chondrite?
Yes, it's a chondrite because it contains chondrules.
And how much carbon, what percentage of it was carbon?
Oh my goodness, I don't know, but it is a carbonaceous chondrite, so I'm pretty sure it contains a lot of carbon.
A fair amount.
Sorry.
Good question, we'll have to look that up.
We'll look at it.
So I've heard that those carbonaceous chondrites have a lot of iron in them.
Yes.
They're just more carbon than a regular iron.
Yeah.
Is that right? Oh,
But
I
they're
see.
actually not all carbon. There's a lot, quite a
Yeah,
bit
they're
of
not
iron.
like a
That's-
tarry blob.
Yeah.
That's a good point. All meteorites contain a fair amount of iron and nickel, much more than you would find in rocks here. That's one way that we can tell that they're meteorites, like these rocky types that look like Earth-based rocks.
Well, the exterior, the ones you pass around, looked a lot like the iron.
Oh,
In
did they?
color.
In the color.
Yeah.
And as Steve pointed out back here, the way we knew that the asteroids were killed by a meteor is that iridium was found in the boundary between the Cretaceous and the Tertiary, and iridium is one of these heavy elements that are found in trace quantities in meteors and much more rarely on Earth. I want to introduce another member of our panel who came in a little bit late, Joyce Guzek. Do you want to talk next, or do you guys?
I can talk last.
Okay. Do you guys want to? Dave, you want to go next? Okay. Sure. So, Dave Darth.
Okay. Wow, that's weird. Perhaps you've heard about the Mars opposition that's happening this month. Anybody? No! That's too bad. Usually there's a great deal of publicity surrounding this. Most of it bogus. At some point you'll probably hear that it's going to happen on the 27th. It isn't for us. It's going to happen on the 26th, just before midnight.